had time to, hang out and do your thing. Cocktails?
I don't know if we'll be there this morning.
I know, we would've.
We're out going across the street.
Right.
I'm still looking for business.
Go ahead.
If you just said, hey, you got 45 minutes.
Okay, well, Mr. Barker will be here in a minute. I'm gonna call the meeting back to order. No, votes were taken, no decisions made. So we're up to mayor's comments. Now, I did have a few tonight. I've been getting a lot of people walk up to me and say, congratulations on the election. It's not my election. It's not the council's election. It was not our ordinance. It was not the council's ordinance. That election belonged to the citizens of Folly Beach, Save Folly's Future, Folly Beach Residents Association, Folly United. They all worked that election, not us. I made darn sure that I was neutral through the whole process. I made real sure that those staff members were neutral through the whole process. So don't congratulate us. If you want to congratulate anybody, congratulate yourselves. Because it was y'all's problem, it was y'all's election, and the outcome was decided by the voters of Folly Beach. So, staff reports, Ms. Ritchie, you're up first.
So we are talking about business license renewal process this year for all new business licenses. So as of right now, I spoke to the county today. For all businesses excluding short-term rental licenses, they are starting to send out renewal letters in the next 2 weeks. Some have already started to go out. That would be like your contractors, your hospitality, your food and beverage, all of those. So the county portal will open March 1st. Those can be renewed online through the county portal. They can also be renewed here in person through the city of Folly if you would like. For short-term rental licenses, the county is set to send those renewal letters to owners and property managers the last week of February. The portal, which we use to renew those licenses, will open March the 6th. As of right now, we are still in the process. We've got about 71 applications left to process for 2022 that fell under the transfer of ownership under the moratorium. So the county is just waiting for those to be complete, and then they'll start sending the renewal letters out. And those will have to be done directly through the city of Folly Beach this year. So the county will send out a renewal form, which all owners get to claim, to report their gross revenues for 2022. They will bring that here to the city. They can also email it to licenses at Folly Beach. They can also use my email, which is going to be on the information that you see in your packets there. Those will start March 6th, and all business license for short-term rentals must be renewed by April the 30th of 2023. Now, we have gone one step further with the new rental registration application, which you see in your packet. We are allowing owners to renew the business license first, and then they have an additional 30 days for the rental registration application. There are new required documents that need to be submitted with this, and I have them listed here if you have any questions. And we are allowing those to be renewed by May 30th. Now, when I say renewed, if they have submitted their applications to my office, and myself or the other 4 employees that will be working on renewals have received the information and it is complete, we will send a confirmation email just saying that your application is processing and you can use this as your confirmation. However, let's see, there is no normally we do a grace period of 30 days. That hasn't been decided yet as far as rental registrations. I know business license applications and renewals are pretty, subject right now because the 800 cap did pass. I can say that the city right now on hand has 1157 short-term rental licenses. The 71 that are in my office to process are transfer of ownership either into an LLC or a trust, or the property was sold, and so those licenses will be replacing an existing license that is in that 1157. Out of that number, 148 are 4% property owners, and 1,009 are 6% property owners. So we are over the cap by 209. As long as the information is provided to us, the applications are submitted, the business license is renewed by April 30th, those additional 209 licenses will be grandfathered in for as long as they continue to renew. We're still in the process of a wait list, kind of working on that, and once we get all those details, we're gonna list it on the city website. So I don't think we will actually know if we actually have 209 licenses over that cap until May 30th, once everything is turned in. I've also listed, in your package, you're gonna see, and I'm sending this out to property managers and residents that ask the parking site plan that has to be included now. I've sent several examples just to show how it needs to be provided, showing that the septic is protected from parking. So that is something that I have to send out, as well as the new ordinance that went into effect in September. I'm sending this out as well if anyone requested. It shows all the new additions that were voted on and added in red. So it's pretty clear what the new requirements are. And we also have a workshop in the works for residents and property managers to attend. We're hoping to have that done the last week of February, and locations to be determined. But it will allow people to come in, ask questions, get their questions answered, and go from there.
Will you be doing the citizen education meetings here?
We're not sure, either here or at the community center.
I think it would be great if you could do it and you could tape it, and then it could be loaded up on the web, and then people unable to attend would be able to watch that at a later date.
Right, and this package that you have in front of you as well, anytime a resident has emailed and asked for the renewal process and how that's gonna happen, I'm sending this to them. It also has, too, in the back, a copy of the new beach rules that has the requirements that have to be listed. I added that on here so a property manager doesn't have to have 4 different items hanging in a frame in the property. One will cover it. But yeah, send that out, and I've always said if anybody has any questions about the required documents, where to find, that information, they can always set up an appointment with me or email me and we'll get it to them.
Any other questions?
Any questions?
This last page,
Yes.
this is what has to be posted in the properties?
In the property, yes. It has to
Okay.
be posted with the information in that top right-hand corner filled out,
Uh-huh.
as well as that now has to be posted in the rental contracts. So if you're using VRBO or whoever, that has to be posted in the rental contract. And the guest has to sign that as well, acknowledging that they've seen the beach rules.
Okay.
Yes. The only additional thing that will need to be posted in the property, besides that, will be the parking site plan, just so it's very clear for the guest where they're going to be parking. So that will be something that has to be posted, and that also has to be included in the rental
But
contract.
can it be a diagram? It doesn't have to be an overhead picture, right?
No, those were just examples of things that, have been sent to me so far and ones that we've approved.
So everybody can just kind of sketch their own.
So if you go to your Charleston County property records, at the website listed here, you're gonna print off the first page, which shows proof of ownership.
What now? What now?
So on the first page here
Uh-huh.
of your business license renewal information, this charlestoncounty.org,
Uh-huh.
when you go onto your real property search, when you put your address in, the first page that comes up shows your address and Eddie Ellis is the owner. And then there is a second page with additional property information, which shows the number of bedrooms. It also shows kind of a dwelling site plan.
Mm-hmm.
I've had owners that have drawn the driveway, drawn where their septic was, put a little X for the cars. So as long as it's pretty detailed, they can do that as well.
All right.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Okay? And we've got applications too downstairs. If anyone that's here tonight would like to pick up an application, you're more than welcome to. The highlighted options are the new documents that are required. So if you've got any questions about that, call me, let me know, and I'll send you examples or tell you where to find it.
Mr. Steele.
Thank you.
Okay.
Alright, so I just wanted to give council a brief overview of some of the work that the safety committee's been doing, as well as how it's affecting our insurance premiums for workers' compensation. And if you go to page 2, you'll see a summary of claims for the last calendar year and how it compared to our 5-year average. And you'll see there, I mean, pretty much every category is lower, sometimes over 50% lower in incurred claims. One thing that you'll see that did go up is our experience modifier, which determines our premium amounts. And if you look at the 5-year summary on the diagram below, you'll see why is because we're still incurring the losses from previous years in 2020 and 2018. And the reason why we're getting a delay in the experience modifier going up is per Schmidt rules. It only goes up by 25% per calendar year. So for the next couple of years, we'll probably be seeing that experience modifier go up. And if we can have years like we did this past year, we can probably see that drop in the next 2 years. So, and one of the points that we identified as an area of improvement, if you all want to go to page 7, is we found that tenure in your employment with the city statistically actually does affect, you know, the rate of these claims that are paid out. And so one of the things that we're going to be doing with this calendar year is seeing how we can tailor our safety programs and our safety trainings to also include an emphasis on junior supervisors as well, because we believe that that's a better way to actually get some of these practices and policies implemented on the bottom level. And so if you want to look at page 8, you'll see how this modifier has been affecting our premiums. So if we can get below 1, you'll start seeing credits come back in, which we've had for the past couple years. And you'll also note the self-assessment score. Even though that does say that it's not complete yet, we did complete it at the same week that this report card came out. So that's been fully completed by public safety, and we've gotten our 100% risk assessment completed. So, do you have any questions? All right, thank you.
Good evening, Mayor, Council. As most of you are aware, back in September through June of last year, I was granted the ability to work remotely for the city as your Director of Finance. Upon my return in July, I actually solicited the ESGR, which is the employer appreciation of State and Guard Reserve. Basically, it's a 1972. They were actually established by the Department of Defense to support Guard and reservists with their civilian employers and then work with them to help resolve certain issues. And they actually evolved into an awards program for those employers that excel in supporting Guard and reservists. So, upon my return from active duty there at Fort Bliss with Battalion Command, I submitted the City of Folly Beach for an ESGR award this year. So for this year, Folly Beach was actually selected among 40 applicants. 3 were selected for the award this year for the Pro Patriot Award, which is a state level award. And they're giving a luncheon on March the 15th at the Crown Plaza Hotel. I've got several folks who've RSVP'd with me, but I do not have an elected official to attend the luncheon with me and a few staff department heads. So this is my request that I might have an elected official attend this luncheon to receive this award, which is actually a plaque that you will receive and it will hang at the City Hall somewhere.
So before you ask why the mayor is not going, the mayor is taking a state exam that day. I'd rather be at the luncheon than where I'm gonna be.
I'll go.
Wonderful. So I'll put you down. And certainly I have one more seat if someone's available to go as well. If not, I'll open it up. I'll certainly have a department head probably want to go as well.
I'm happy to.
Wonderful. Okay. Yeah, and if there are more, I can actually ask for additional seats as well. Any other takers?
I
Let's
have
have a party.
It's a free lunch.
Big old party, honey.
It's St. Patrick's Day.
Right?
And just
In downtown.
and just to let council know that with this selection, we are actually now in the pool of 160 other applications nationwide for the city to receive the national award, which is the Freedom Award from the Department of Defense ESGR. So that would probably be entailed like a Washington DC award ceremony.
If they knew how hard it was to put up with you while you were gone that long, you would really national award hands down, right?
So hopefully this smooths some feathers.
I will say that Mr. Gester worked very hard while he was away because he had to do his Army duties during the day and a lot of financial duties later in the evening. So we got a lot of late night emails, and he kept it all up. I don't know how he did it, but he did it.
A lot of weekends.
Thank you. Okay, so we move on to have a motion to approve the agenda.
So moved.
Have a second.
Second.
Any corrections or additions? So we'll move on without objection. Okay. Approval of minutes. Have a motion for approval.
So moved.
Have a second.
Second.
Additions or corrections?
I called some into Wes, and I think he's made them on the formal copy that goes in.
Okay.
Just, recall them, Scribner's errors or whatever.
Okay. All right, call roll.
All right, Councilmember Ellis,
Yes.
Councilmember Rich,
Yes.
Councilmember Houghton,
Yes.
Councilmember Farley,
Yes.
Councilmember Barker,
Yes.
Mayor Goodwin.
Yeah. So we move on to personal appearances. Ms. Kaysen, I won't say Carson, but that's not right. Kaysen. Put an extra R on there.
For those of y'all who don't know me, I'm Dr. E.G. Kaysen. I manage the Folly Art Village. This for the past 5 years. This would be our 6th year going into our market. And so we're here to request an exemption to the mobile vendor ordinance to allow us to have 18 vendors this year at the washout. Our normal market will be on Wednesdays from 5 to 9. Our rain day in case of inclement weather would be on Thursdays. And then we're also requesting to set up during the island-wide special events for this season.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Second.
Okay, so are you asking for 18 vendors each week?
18 vendors each week.
Holy mackerel, you only had 9 last year,
No, we had 16 the past 2 years.
but I thought it was only 9 per time.
No, it was 16, so our mobile vendor ordinance is 8, and so the past 2 years, we've doubled it to 16. So we've been running 16 vendors, and we've just realized over the course of the last couple of years that even if we have 16, there's some people that inevitably miss a couple of markets. They have, vacation. The mobile vendor ordinance covers 8 vendors. So we asked to double it the past 2 years, but we're asking for 2 more vendors this year because we have vendors that call out every week. So if we have 18, we feel like we're within the 16 limit.
Washout has no objection to it. We have the room for it, and it just benefits the community that much more.
Anybody else?
When you say set up for the other events, what exactly do you mean?
So we set up still during like Taste of Folly.
You set up in the parking lot or in
Yeah,
the
we
street?
set up
Okay.
in the parking
Okay.
lot on the same day.
And that's something that's been happening.
Yeah,
It's
so
5
we've done
years.
that for the last 5 years.
Same day.
It just allows our vendors that are there every week to still get to participate.
Yeah, and they're in a
it's
known
kinda-
spot, so it makes it a
Yeah.
lot easier on you. I'm
Yeah,
sure.
and Kelly and I, we work really well
Yeah,
together,
it's
I
been
feel like, and so I'm really clear with vendors that, if you're wanting to be on the street, you need to contact Fab, and if she has overflows, sending them to us. So I did that with Kelly Russ. Kelly and Travers and I are doing that now, so that seems to work out well. We're really clear to the people that, we are in the Watchout parking lot for the island-wide events. But for the Christmas parade, that allows us to set up and kind of gives us,
Right.
we have in the past used the county park at the pier, but during the construction, the past couple of years in COVID, it hasn't allowed us to have a Christmas market there. So setting up during the Christmas parade at the Washout, for the people that have been there 9 months out of the year, is kind of nice that on these extra days that they're kind of
Right.
guaranteed.
So you wouldn't ask for a holiday market on the pier, you keep what you're doing over there, you think that's more beneficial where you're at?
Well, so we'll set up during the Christmas parade, just, the construction, we still may be able to ask for a bigger event this year. Cause there we were able to have about 50 vendors, so that's a big day at the county park in the past. So we did it 3 years at the county park before COVID, had just a separate. But we do, the only island-wide event that Fab doesn't set up at is the Christmas parade, and we do set up on that day at the Washout.
Any other questions?
Councilmember Farley,
Yes.
Councilmember Ellis,
Yes.
Councilmember Parker,
Yes.
Councilmember Houghton,
Yes.
Councilmember Rich,
Yes.
Mayor Goodwin.
Yes, that's fine.
Right, thank
Thank
you.
you.
I know y'all been under a lot of stress, and I just wanna say, whoever was up here last, y'all have done some really good things, and y'all probably don't get enough credit for the good things you do. I know it's been stressful down here for a while. I'm kinda glad I live in Ravenel with my farm now, and I'm out in the country, but good job, just kudos to y'all.
Ms. Travers.
So I'm here to talk about Folly's 50th, and I was traveling to see some family and took a look at the packet and wanted to provide y'all with some additional outlines. Is that okay to give this to you guys now? Okay. And sorry, Lacey, that was my bad. I was supposed to give that to that sweet lady, and I was traveling, so I apologize. Just a quick little outline, some details.
Are we approving anything for this tonight, or is this just save the date?
Save the date, really, yeah. But I just wanted you guys to see what we were doing. Do you want one as well?
You got your own copy, right?
Got enough.
Okay, so essentially, it is a save the date request for Folly's 50th birthday celebration. The intent is to run it from Friday, September 22nd through Saturday, September 30th. And we've kind of gotten several events going on. Friday, we're hoping to do the 50th gala at the Tides, which is on private property. Saturday is Folly Through the Decades, which we've kind of lightly talked about, a preliminary meeting of doing kind of some classic cars on the street and assigning every block a specific decade to celebrate, and then embrace that with bands and dress and all that kind of good stuff. And then Sunday would be a beach day, kind of just fun, like half rubber tournaments, sandcastle building, fun kind of games like that on the beach. Monday is our resident brunch and celebration of history, which we'd love to do at the History Museum, or at the Community Center. We'll figure that out exactly, but just kind of celebrate all of our residents that have been on the beach for a long time, and Folly's history in general. And then Tuesday would be the business and resident private party. Still defining that exact location, but in talks with all three of those venues at the moment, obviously, which might be the best fit for us. Wednesday would be a Folly Family Kids event, tie-dyeing shirts in the park, painting shells, jump castles, kind of little fun stuff like that for our kids. Thursday would be shagging and dancing on the pier, of course, which Mark and I are going to discuss. And then Saturday, the 30th, is kind of our end, which would be kind of a fair style event. We're hoping to get a Ferris wheel and another ride, kind of arcade games, fair food, that kind of feel. That's a larger street closure event like we've done in the past with vendors. That first Saturday would not be like a vendor street closure event, but we may close it just because of the plastic covers on the street, just so people can get photos and keep everybody safe. So, kind of our overview for the plan right now that we're working on, but we wanted to make sure that fit with everyone's vision and plan.
Motion approved.
So moved.
We don't need a motion, she's just giving you dates to put on your calendar right now.
Yeah.
She'll come back with a motion later. But we got bumper cars.
So I priced the bumper cars and the Ferris wheel, so I promise I've got them both priced out, yeah.
They're too expensive.
A little expensive, aren't they?
Yeah.
Well, we'll see if we can get some help, we might be okay, so we're talking to some sponsors and some other people right now, so, yeah. Any questions or concerns?
All right.
On your beer.
Thank you, man.
Okay.
Not much.
Matt Rosebrough.
Matt Rosebrook is out with surgery, so I'm filling in.
Oh my goodness, well, I was just gonna pick on you a little bit, but I won't because
Yeah,
I hope everything's going good for you.
I think it is, so, but he's unable to make it. So I'm here to present on Folly Pier Fest.
Tell everybody who you are.
I'm Mark Patrick. I'm the assistant director of parks now. I used to be the general manager of the Folly Beach County Parks, but we'll get into that in a second. But Folly Pier Fest is going to be Saturday, March 11th from 5 to 8 at the pier. We're hoping for about 1,500 people to celebrate the reopening of the pier. This event is to benefit the Parks Foundation, roving entertainers, band at the end, beer and wine sales, that kind of thing.
A motion to approve.
So moved.
Second.
Do you have any questions?
Councilmember Rich,
Yes.
Councilmember Houghton,
Yes.
Councilmember Barker,
Yes.
Councilmember Ellis,
Yes.
Councilmember Farley,
Yes.
Mayor Goodwin.
Yes.
In addition to Folly Pier Fest, we will have a rededication of the pier Wednesday, the March 1st at 10 a.m. for any of those interested in attending. I know that official invitations are going out. I don't know if they've gone out yet. We have, okay, official
Well,
invitations.
mine has, I don't know.
Okay. Well, some have at least then. So that's another event that's going on for the reopening of the pier. Also, I'd like to take this time to just thank everybody who I've worked with the city for the last 12 years. I've been a general manager for the parks out here. I cannot think of a better group of people to have worked with and done business with. Whether it was any of these guys over here or Andrew, who's not here tonight, they could call me at a moment's notice and hopefully I could help them. We are still government, so we move kind of slow sometimes. But they've always been very helpful to me, and hopefully I've been helpful in return, and thank y'all for everything. And I'll still be involved with Folly, but I will no longer be the manager out here on a daily basis.
But I'm still gonna call you and say, Mark,
I'm still there to be called.
you hate to hear from me. But yeah, I would have voted no because I got canvassed by some of your employees to say, vote no for this thing, we don't want it.
It's fine with me. I won't be here.
Thank you, Mark.
Thank y'all.
Thanks a million.
So, Mr. DePaz, you've been waiting a long time.
That's all right.
Hey, Marshall DePass, and I'm representing the director for the Eastern Surfing Association. So we're asking approval of our 2023 surf schedule.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Anybody got any questions?
Councilmember Ellis.
Yes.
Councilmember Barker.
Yes.
Councilmember Farley.
Yes.
Councilmember Houghton.
Yes.
Councilmember Rich.
Yes.
Mayor Goodwin.
Of course.
Thank you very much.
Okay, so we're open for citizen comments? Yes, ma'am. No SDR comments, they're not on the agenda, you know that.
No SDR.
Okay.
Hi, good evening. I'm Spencer Wetmore, really weird to say. But thank you for having me. I'm here on behalf of Mr. Tiff Mitchell tonight, owner of 103 West Erie. Want to thank council for all of their careful work and all the incredible work y'all do on zoning and planning. And just state that we hope that the city will agree with us that his project would be vested through conceptual, but also just on a human scale. We hope y'all understand the tremendous amount of work that has gone into this project and appreciate your consideration and any further study on that ordinance. Thank you so much.
You said 103 East Erie?
West Erie.
West Erie?
Yes, sir.
The parking lot, the empty lot. You gonna be in Columbia tomorrow? You gonna be at the press conference tomorrow?
You bet.
Okay, see you at 9:45, 9:30.
Which one?
9:46 for me.
Oh, no, you gotta be on time, you gotta be on time. Okay, any other comments?
Hi, Paula Stubblefield. I'm here as the chair of the Planning Commission. Y'all may have already talked about this, but I just want to officially let you guys know regarding Ordinance 035-22, which is about the islands being rezoned into marsh residential. A little snafu at our meeting last week. When it came to vote on recommending or not recommending the ordinance to pass, we had 4 no votes and 2 yes votes. After the meeting adjourned, 2 of the planning commissioners stated they didn't understand the question and they would have voted yes if they had understood. So I believe both of them have reached out to you guys about it. They weren't able to come tonight, so I just wanted to stand up and explain the situation. That had they understood the question, it would have been 4 yes and 2 no. And I understand you guys may send it back to the planning commission, but in case you vote tonight.
I sure hope so.
Okay, in case you vote tonight, that's what's up.
Thank you. Oh, that's what happened.
Was that what you were here for?
Yes, sir.
Spencer?
No,
No.
sir.
What were you here for?
Me,
Yeah.
just on behalf of my client, but not
103 West
West
Erie?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
It would be the one where you talk about, have to add parking to accommodations on Center Street. So that would be 002-23. All right. Yes, sir?
My name is Tommy Goldstein, and I wanted to speak to you about items number 8 and 9. I'm sorry, 9 and 10, which was timely, just addressed by Ms. Stevens, the chair of the Planning Commission. I represent the property owner on 436-0000008, which is Palm Island, which is one of the tracks that the Planning Commission took up on February 6th. A little astonished to hear an admission on the record before council of a FOIA violation, but kind of caught me by surprise. But what I wanted to tell you is that it did come before the Planning Commission on February 6th. Planning Commission voted 4-2 not to recommend the rezoning. Under the statute that governs this is 6-29-530. This represents an adoption, change to the comprehensive plan, which requires the Planning Commission, requires an affirmative vote of the Planning Commission in order for it to go forward past second reading, which you do not have. You have a 4-2 vote, so it's a recommendation that it not pass under 6-29-540. You can huddle up with your counsel, and he can go.
We will, don't worry.
Oh, you got a very good lawyer. In order to amend the comprehensive plan, which this ordinance would do, it requires an affirmative vote of the planning commission, which you do not have. Therefore, it cannot pass second reading lawfully. Now, if you want to get rid of Goldstein, all you got to do is just delete 436.0000008, and I'm out the door back to West Ashley. But as the matter stands before you tonight, it cannot be approved. It must go back to the planning commission, which is problematical in light of the admissions Ms. Stevens just made. I'm happy to answer any questions you may
I
have.
don't understand what your problem is, but
Well, what do you mean what my problem is?
what admission she made, that somebody said that they made a mistake?
Are you familiar with the Freedom of Information Act?
Has anybody asked for that information? No.
Well, you don't understand the Freedom of
Okay.
Information Act then. That was an illegal meeting under the Freedom of Information Act.
I don't know that it was a meeting, but that's for you guys to argue.
Yeah,
for it.
we'll sort it out.
Okay, thank you very much.
Tommy, what is 4360008?
Palm Island.
Is
Palm
it 3
Island.
zeros?
I have it down as 2 zeros and an 8. It's how I have it.
4360008?
I have 436-00-00-008. That's what I have.
Okay, so it's 436-00-00-008. Right? Is that the TMS number?
Yes, sir. Here's your ordinance. It's in the ordinance. If I can approach, I'll hand up a copy.
Don't have a copy. It's listed as Palm Island in the ordinance heading.
Palm Island?
Yeah.
Now, technically, my client would be a legal non-conforming use if it passed, but we don't really need to discuss that.
Okay.
Unless you got questions.
Any other questions? Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Anybody else? All right, moving right along. So, I don't believe Ms. Stevens, you need to make another report beyond that? Planning Commission report?
No, my report is what happened at the meeting.
Yeah? You're just gonna reaffirm what?
Well,
Basically,
I'm gonna reaffirm my,
right.
my, notice to you that the planning commission voted 4-2 against, recommending the rezoning. I would add that we did properly notice this meeting, 30 days before. It was in the Post and Courier. 2 weeks before, we put up signs on the property, and 2 weeks before, I mailed to the owner of Long Island and Palm Island. We got the addresses from county taxman, so wherever they get the tax bill is where they got the notice from us, and that was all followed according to law.
Yeah, so I'm assuming that's what he was talking about, the FOIA report, but I don't know. You never know.
I do know I tried to come at 6 o'clock that night and the door was locked. I was told the meeting got changed to 7, but there was no notification on the door.
Meeting's always at 7.
It's always, well, on the notification that I saw, the sign that I saw, it said 6. There were 2 people trying to get in at 6 o'clock. It was 7 o'clock? It was 7. Okay.
Yeah, and doors are open at 6:30.
Okay.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so we're up to where we are, the discussion. Ordinance 35-22, ordinance rezoning the high ground of Long Island and the associated small marsh islands, including Palm Island, from residential single-family to Marsh Island residential, and amending the official zoning map to reflect said change in the ordinance, and to implement the goals of the comprehensive plan.
Motion to remand.
Second.
Okay, so it's going back to you, for y'all to get straightened out and everybody understand.
Perfectly clear.
Well, so everybody's clear on what they're talking about. Okay.
Councilmember Barker.
Are they gonna vote again on it?
Yep.
Okay. All right, Mr. West, I'm sorry.
Councilmember Barker.
Yes.
Councilmember Ellis.
Yes.
Councilmember Farley.
Yes.
Councilmember Houghton.
Yes.
Councilmember Rich.
Yes.
Mayor Goodwin.
Yes. So we're up to ordinance 001-23, ordinance amending Folly Beach Code of Ordinances, chapter 113, section 11305, distribution of funds, by amending the language governing distribution of local accommodation tax funds within the general budget and beach preservation fund. You see what was changed in the, in red. This was so these funds could be used and handed out without having to come back to city council over and over and over again to change the ordinance. Do you have a motion for approval?
So moved.
Have a second?
Second.
Any questions?
This all basically came up because we retired some debt. Is that right? No further.
Any other questions?
Councilmember Farley.
Yes.
Councilmember Ellis.
Yes.
Councilmember Rich.
Yes.
Councilmember Houghton.
Yes.
Councilmember Barker.
Yes.
Mayor Goodwin.
Yes. So ordinance 002-23, ordinance amending the Folly Beach Code of Ordinances, section 16305-03, Center Street Overlay District, to require parking for tourist accommodations and short-term rental uses within the Center Street Overlay District. Do you have a motion for approval?
So moved.
Have a second?
Second.
This was listed introduced by me, but really should have been Councilmember Rich.
Yeah, we missed something when we went through it, and it was a conceptual design that kind of put in my head, whether it applies to them or not is really for somebody else's call and purview. But from our standpoint, any future inn or hotel overnight accommodation in the Center Street Overlay District needs to have at least one parking space per bedroom. We just made every short-term rental on the island do it. We made, the hotel down the street do it. We made every other rental on the island have at least one parking space per bedroom. So I just, moving forward, that's the way it should be. Whether this one slips through or conceptual review is good enough, like I said, that's for somebody else. But we should at least fix it for next time. We need to get some people, let's just send it back to planning and get some more thoughts on that moving forward.
This, as I understand it, Mr. Wilson, this one does not apply to the plan that was adopted as conceptual review, so it would be from the day going forward, not from the previous.
So you wanna remand this back to the planning?
Yeah, it needs to go back to planning because of the zoning. But I mean, just either way, just moving forward, we need every rental to have one bedroom per, or one parking space per bedroom. It's ludicrous if they don't. With one slips through the cracks, that's what it is. But moving forward, if there's another one that wants to pop up, say McKevlin sells and they build a big hotel there, they'd have one parking space per bedroom. That needs to, when we did this redesign, we were looking at t-shirt shops, we were looking at buildings or businesses that people go in and out of real quick, not that they're gonna be putting their heads there overnight. So we kind of missed that, and I think it needs to be added in. That's why I'd like to send it back to planning.
I do hereby make a motion to remand it back to planning.
We already had a motion for approval, so
well,
we have to get rid of that first.
So we vote it down.
You want to remand it to planning, or you want us to go ahead and vote on it?
I'm fine to vote on it. I thought we had to send it back to planning because it was a zoning ordinance, but if not, I'm fine to vote on it.
Well, we can withdraw the motion to approve.
Well, yeah, you can. Do you want to send it to planning?
I think we should for further discussion.
I'm getting some head shaking, yes, to put more heads together to come up with it. It's fine.
What do you think, Mr. Wilson?
Yes.
Okay, so, you made your motion.
Words.
Barker second, Rich motion.
So you want to withdraw the motion?
Withdraw the motion to
Change it
approve
planning.
and change it to remand to planning.
Are you good with that?
I am.
Okay.
I do hereby make a motion to
Already
remand
got
to
it.
planning.
You just did it.
Oh, I second. Alright, you're gonna be busy planning.
That's the point. We gotta give us something to do.
Councilmember Rich.
Yes.
Councilmember Barker,
Yes.
Councilmember Ellis,
Yes.
Councilmember Farley,
Yes.
Councilmember Houghton,
Yes.
Mayor Goodwin.
Yes, so this is, in force as it goes back to planning going forward.
So that'll be on the first Monday of March.
Think so.
What day do you meet next?
Well, we have to advertise it, I don't know if we can make the requirements for this.
Yeah, you won't make 30 days. So it'll be April.
It doesn't slow the existing project down though, right?
No,
I mean,
this is just going forward.
And I do have a photo of the sign, and it does say 16 of this particular sign. I mean, maybe this, I don't know, it's always at 7, I'm not sure why that is, but.
Okay, that's fine. I'm not arguing with you about this.
No, it was brought to my attention that it's always at 7, and I'm just learning myself, so.
we all are, but
Okay.
you get a
I
redo,
wonder-
you get a redo next month.
Yeah. So we're up to resolution 5-23, resolution Folly Beach City Council expressing support for the city's grant application to fund the design and repaving project to alleviate flooding and improve drainage along 13th Street East and Tabby Drive. Have a motion for approval?
Motion approved.
Second.
Any questions? Okay.
Councilmember Barker,
Yes.
Councilmember Ellis,
Yes.
Councilmember Rich,
Yes.
Councilmember Farley,
Yes.
Councilmember Houghton,
Yes.
Mayor Goodwin.
Yes. So resolution 6-23, resolution Folly Beach City Council awarding a contract to provide paid parking and parking enforcement services. Have a motion for approval?
Make a motion, we postpone.
Okay.
Make a motion to postpone to the next city council meeting to have questions answered from all prospective bidders.
Second.
Officially has to say that.
Okay.
Councilmember Rich,
Yes.
Councilmember Barker,
Yes.
Councilmember Houghton,
Yes.
Councilmember Farley,
Yes.
Councilmember Ellis,
Yes.
Mayor Goodwin.
Yes. Resolution 7-23, resolution Folly Beach City Council supporting the proclamation from the National Association of Women in Construction for March 5th through 11th, 2023, which is Women in Construction Week. Have a motion for approval?
So moved.
Have a second?
Second.
Never paid attention to how many women worked out here in construction until this come along and just ride around and look at the construction sites. There's a bunch these days.
Councilmember Houghton,
Yes.
Councilmember Farley,
Yes.
Councilmember Ellis,
Yes.
Councilmember Barker,
Yes.
Councilmember Rich,
Yes.
Mayor Goodwin.
Yes. Resolution 8-23, a resolution by Folly Beach City Council setting the application fee for a variance request to the Board of Zoning Appeals at a rate of $300. Have a motion for approval?
So moved.
Have a second?
Second.
Any questions, concerns, or comments?
Councilmember Barker,
Yes.
Councilmember Farley,
Yes.
Councilmember Rich,
Yes.
Councilmember Houghton,
Yes.
Councilmember Ellis,
Yes.
Mayor Goodwin.
Yes. Resolution 9, I'm not too fast for you. Resolution by Folly Beach City Council authorizing the distribution of $10,000 held in the city celebrations reserve account to the community coordination account to be used for the upcoming city's 50th anniversary celebrations. Have a motion for approval?
So moved.
Have a second?
Second.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry, go ahead,
No.
Catherine. So this is either this resolution or the next one, but I'm just curious because we have two resolutions to let go two different piles of money from the same account for the same anniversary celebration, and I don't see anything about those two in the outline that we were given earlier.
No, this is the city, this isn't Fabs. This is just the city, putting on the
So-
city stuff, not Fab.
What all are we doing? I guess my question then lies into we're having two different events.
Yeah, but we're
For the
gonna,
50th.
and we're, well, no, not two different events, so they're gonna go be hand in hand, and they've worked together as meetings together, talking about different things happening. So we're talking about, well, it's the community coordinator talk about some of it, and then I'll let Mr. Gester talk about some of it for the history, but talking about like abandoning the park again for,
Yes.
for the,
This will actually be much more, resident focused, not so much tourism.
So so we're gonna have two different celebrations, one from the city, one from FAB going on at the same time
Not
about
at
the city's
same
50th
time.
anniversary.
Not at the same time.
Not at the same time.
This one would actually be in May,
In May?
as a kickoff to the season of the 50th.
yeah, that's on your
Is
second
that-
sheet.
Ending with her.
So which
Look at-
one of
look
these
at the
spots is
backup.
that coming out of? Because the celebrations account for the 50th anniversary, as we've gone through the last couple of budgets, we put money in there. And that was my understanding that it was for this event that's coming up during the 50th anniversary, the week or 2 weeks, whatever we want to make of it, was that was going to that. But now I'm hearing that we're moving stuff to March or May. So why the two different things? And are we working together to have one event? I don't see them, just like Coke and Pepsi, just have one. And we don't need to. So I'll just ask for clarification first. I'm hearing.
Well, so, go ahead. But they have worked together and talked about, you know, sit down and went through.
We're also happy to, we tried to line up a bunch of stuff that we thought would be all inclusive to the city. We're happy to take some of ours off and put some of Lacey's in our.
Well, I guess that's maybe what I'd like to see, because I don't see this outline.
We're happy to do that.
I'm confused by this, but then I'll
To
get
keep it
stuff that
all
we're
in
spending
line.
another
Yeah.
25,000 on that's not on this outline at all.
It's not on her outline. It's not. You have to look at the second sheet of the resolution that you got in your package.
Okay.
To get the outline for the 10,000 she's talking about. Just wait a minute. To get the outline she's talking about, and what they're talking about in May, a kickoff for the 50th of the city was a kickoff that would just include more residential events like a band in the park. Not advertising for everybody from Somerville to come down for the band in the park like we did the band in the park before, where the residents went out and had a good evening and enjoyed themselves. Food at Rita's, kids game, et cetera, et cetera. So
So this is a one-day kickoff in May. But I guess I'm just trying to ask, why are we doing it in May? Why aren't we doing it in the more appropriate time of September when it's the 50th anniversary? Well, I get what you're trying to do,
because they were trying to do something for the residents. So if you did it during the same time as you did the other thing, that's gonna be an advertisement for everywhere to bring more people in than just the residents. They were trying to give the residents something to do for the 50th anniversary and not advertise it for tourism to come in from all over.
I don't agree. I think that's false. I think they can have an anniversary party and it's for everybody who's been a part of Folly's history over the 50 years. So you do it in September. You don't treat it like a normal street festival. It's a way to bring all those people from 50 years of Folly together. And that does involve people that don't live here anymore, but they're still treated the same. And I'm speaking because I know a little bit about these things. The last one went over just fine. We did residential stuff and other stuff.
I didn't say it didn't.
So I was wondering why the two different things and the two pots of money, because we were led to believe that some of it was for the 50th, not a kickoff in May. That doesn't.
Well, and that's
great. So the people who live here now can get a little party, but the people who lived here for 25 years until last year don't get anything.
That's your opinion. So anyway.
Right, that's why I'm voicing it.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, so why, Steve, are we having it in May?
As a kickoff to the anniversary.
So I will say, I totally like the programming. I'm not questioning any of this. I am questioning why we don't fold a little more closer with the date.
We can, I mean,
We
can.
You could, but now you're getting into the middle of the summertime. Just massive people all the time, so.
Part of that week is what I'm saying, the day before. So that's how I see it. I think it would be nice that we just kind of cluster it and we do it. That's all I'm saying. I mean, if it has to be May, it has to be May. I mean, my birthday's in May, so.
Welcome it, yeah, we
No,
welcome it to do that.
I think it'd be nice to see it like September.
Well, that's not the way it's been thrown at us, so then let's look at it this way, because it should be done in September. If you want to do it the week before the other things start, well, that's fine. But from having one event in May and one in September, I'm never gonna authorize spending money for that. That's ridiculous. in my mind.
Okay, well then go back and just say, on the resolution, well, we just change the date. Hang on a second.
I'm good with that. Let's have a party in May and September.
Yeah, I sort of favor the way it is right now, having a party in May on a Friday night that residents can come to, and it's not.
Before Thursday.
I think it's a nice, the vistas play, and, they're in the park, and residents come, I'm down with that. I think it's a good plan for people to come to, that it's not highly publicized, but publicized in the Sand Spur and, you know, maybe in the Current, and, we have that party that's smaller scale that kicks off the 50th year, and then we have the big party at the end of the season. I like that plan.
I think this was kind of what you're talking about, was the introduction to the anniversary year, which is the season, which is basically June through.
No, I hate to tell you, but the season actually starts in March and ends July 4th.
Well, it does, but
Technically.
from an event standpoint, for the residents, the reason we did this in May was a kickoff, because right after that, you go into 4 weeks of family fun nights, you go into the 4th of July. It's a continual thing throughout the summer with that as a finale.
I hear you, and I'm not saying that it's not a valiant program. I just don't, I don't agree with it. I think the timing's wrong. I think it should be later.
We've heard it.
Yeah.
Thank you. Anybody else? Call the roll.
Councilmember Barker,
Yes.
Councilmember Ellis,
Yes.
Councilmember Farley,
Yes.
Councilmember Houghton,
No.
Councilmember Rich,
Nope.
Mayor Goodwin.
Yes.
Passes.
All right, resolution 10-23, a resolution by Folly Beach City Council authorizing city administration to spend up to $15,600 held in the city celebration reserve account to be used for the inauguration of the Folly Beach History Museum during the upcoming city 50th anniversary celebration. You have a breakdown of what the money's gonna be spent for to get it moving. Have a motion for approval.
So moved.
Have a second?
Second.
Any questions or comments? You're off to the, I can't believe it.
Councilmember Ellis,
Yes.
Councilmember Farley,
Yes.
Councilmember Rich,
No.
Councilmember Houghton,
Yes.
Councilmember Barker,
Yes.
Mayor Goodwin.
Yes. Okay. So with that, we're up to council comments. Mr. Rich, would you like to start it?
Thanks everybody for coming out.
Yes, indeed. Thank you for coming out. It's been a long meeting. I want to wish everyone a happy Valentine's Day, what's left of it. Also want to comment on last week's vote. I want to commend the public for a strong turnout, and I hope the island can quickly return to a state of civility. And lastly, remind everyone, roughly 10 days from now, we have seen sand. So look forward to seeing you then.
I want to say that the Municipal Association of South Carolina has this program, and it's based in civility, respect, and solutions. It follows up with, I think, everything that Folly stands for. I think it's been some challenging sort of times, and I do have cookies and cream and peanut butter on Valentine's to share with anyone in the group. So come one, come all.
Thank you.
Happy Valentine's. Thanks everybody for spending Valentine's evening with us. And,
Where else would you rather be?
where else would you rather be? That's all.
Also, I'd like to thank all the significant others, spouses, whatnot, that are waiting for us. Honey, we're almost done. So, thank you.
I would say, we wish Mr. Pope a speedy recovery. My responsible employee here took over, did a good job. Thank you, Wes. So, now you know what happens when he lays out during a council meeting. So have a motion to adjourn?
So moved. Exactly.